comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So it looks like my wife has COVID. It's not 100% yet. We're still trying to rule out some other things, but she did a rapid antigen test and it came back pretty clear. The line was pretty clear. It was as clear as the second pregnancy test we took when my wife was pregnant with my son the first time. But no one else in the house is showing any symptoms at all whatsoever, except for me, but I'm masking them pretty good. I am pushing down any symptoms that may arise. You'll just see me at lunch tomorrow. I'll be red, I'll be sweating, I'll be wheezing. I'll be like, nah, I'm all good. I took ivermectin yesterday, I'm all good. So no one else in the house has any symptoms at all. And there's like 10 people in the house. There's the 2 doctors, there's my kids, there's fucking my in-laws, there's the aunties, there's a cousin, there's a fucking bunch of people here. And nothing from no one. And my wife's mum slept in the same room as my wife last night. And she's not showing anything. So the doctors are investigating maybe dengue fever as well. Because it sort of came on all of a sudden yesterday. So my wife woke up all good yesterday. She was fine. And then she had breakfast. And she didn't tell me what she had breakfast until after she'd had like fever and shit all day. She finally tells me what she had for breakfast. And she had this like leftover fucking street food shit we had the day before for breakfast. And she said as soon as she ate that, she started having diarrhea and fever and all that. So everyone was like, it must be fucking like some sort of food poisoning or something like that. Like the street food she had for breakfast, that I don't know what she did. She heated it up or something. It's poisonous when you eat it directly from them. You don't leave it overnight and then reheat it or something. You're definitely going to get sick. But she woke up this morning and she was still crook as fuck, still fevering and all that sort of shit. So we went out to lunch because it's my sister-in-law's birthday today. And then when we came back, we're like, well, we should probably do the fucking COVID test just so she can isolate and we can sort of like keep the viral load down. Because if she does have COVID, all of us have COVID for sure. So she did the rapid antigen test and she came out positive. But the doctors, the real doctors, not me. I'm not talking about myself when I say the doctors. The doctors weren't 100% convinced, so they got her to do a blood test to check her platelets or some shit like that. And the blood test came back and she's got low platelets, which means it could be fucking dengue fever. That's what my sister-in-law suspects. She doesn't even think it's COVID at all. But apparently your platelets can go down if you have COVID as well. So I don't know. It's all a fucking mess. All I know, my wife's sick in bed right now. No one else in the house is sick. And it really does not make sense that she has COVID because we've been taking ivermectin. This is ivermectin's first big clinical trial because there's 10 in the house and we all take ivermectin. If we all end up getting sick, then fucking ivermectin against Omicron, it's over. I'll have to completely restructure my reality, but it has to be all 10. If 9 people get it and I don't get it, then fucking ivermectin passes the test. But it's good that the doctors are here, the real doctors, because we've got a fucking IV drip set up. They've got all the medicine. They know how to treat dengue and COVID. Well, they know how to treat COVID. They just give people ivermectin as well. But they know how to treat dengue, which is pretty much paracetamol and an IV drip. Unless your platelets drop too low, then you need to go to hospital for a blood transfusion. So let's fucking hope that doesn't happen. That would be a real fucking fucked up Friday. What a transition. What a fucking transition. How else was I meant to do it? How else was I meant to fucking transition from my wife's lying in bed sick with either COVID or dengue to let's get fired up for another fucked up Friday? There's no classy way to do it, but I came close. Anyway, if you would like to send in a fucked up Friday story, send it to my email, which is boylecomedy@gmail.com, or sign up to the Patreon. It's a fucking pint a month. You can fucking buy Boyle a fucking beer a month, can't you? You can't. Buy me a beer, tell me a story, send it in through the Patreon, skip the line a little bit. Bada bing, bada fucking boom. That's the way it's done. So if you want to sign up to the Patreon, The links are in my social media bios, or just hit me up, send me a message yourself, and I'll send you the link directly. Directly fucking to you. Anyway, this story was sent in by an anonymous fucking man in Northern Ireland, or let's just call it Ireland. He wants to remain anonymous. He said, I'm hoping sending in this story will help clear my conscience a wee bit, maybe. Anyway, let's get stuck into it. A few years back, me and a close mate hit the gear in swole hard. Is that a typo? Is that meant to be gear and swill? Or in Ireland, do you call it fucking swole? He means the booze, the gear and the booze. He hit the gear and the booze all summer long. Addicted, bouncing from party to ship flat any and every possible day. It wasn't good, man, like sickening. One of them summers you feel ashamed of. Started out feeling all class, but fast it went to debauchery and just junkie behaviour. One night on a walk of shame home down a quiet neighbourhood close to my home, me and my mate completely broke, feeling scunnered and wired out of our minds, thought of a bright idea. Let's check if any of the many fucking cars we were walking by had anything sweet in them. We take a side of the street each and go as fast as possible, using our sleeves with our hoods up. Funny enough, there were shitloads open. Don't know how no alarms went off. The most I was getting was some shitty gloves, a few quid, and some fags. Pennies for days too. We meet up at the end of the street, defeated, and spot a stunning BMW. Doors open, handbag on the passenger side floor. Wallet inside, 10s and 20s packed. Near came to 2 Gs. Think it was about 1800 if I mind right. Panicked, adrenaline fucking going haywire. We split off in the closest direction to a back road and just walk. Mix of fear and excitement, and kept walking all fucking night long. End up countryside, man. Morning hits and we're in the next town over. I remember my feet killing me and feeling dirty. Looking dirty too. Try for a B&B and they're like, nah, fuck off, look at the state of yous. We're like, fuck this. Book a taxi, let's go to the closest shopping centre and get ourselves right. I mind the woman in JD was like, did use rob a bank. Bags filled, we book a hotel. Had to wait for a room and got fixed up in the bathrooms. The room's open, the bender begins. New clothes, phone, Snapchat, drugs, and drink. It was lethal. Week's over. I want to know what happened in that week. The week's over and we head back home as new men. Still wired but looking smicked out. Home now. Have a nosy on Facebook and it's plastered everywhere. Missing purse, broken into car, the whole 9 yards. Thank fuck there were no security cams, and then the real adrenaline starts. Pure fear sets in of what we've done. Come to see it was a well high up family we stole from, and they were loved in the neighborhood. I asked him, I'm like, what do you mean a well high up family? And he goes, they were UDA, which turns out to be Ulster Defence Association, which were like in the Troubles in Ireland. The Troubles. So were we feeling like a dirty fucking thief, just a criminal, mate, and scared. Me and my mate go our separate ways. Try think nothing of it. Like completely separate. He went to fucking prison. He went to fucking prison. I was only 19 and I was shitting it. My future's done for type of shit. I told a few close mates on nights out hammered, you fucking Jesus Christ. You never tell your mates anything. That's the first mistake everyone makes. You never tell your missus anything or your mates. You tell no one anything. Just keep it to your fucking self. That's the problem with being a criminal and a pisshead. It's hard to keep your fucking mouth shut. So where was he? I told a few close mates on nights out hammered and just attempted to move on. Just keep it to yourself, people. Just keep it to your fucking self. That's the only thing I want you to take from this whole podcast. Shut the fuck up. A few months later, it's bonfire night. We're all getting blocked. By the end of the night, I'm in the same neighborhood with some randoms, and they're like, oh, come back to ours. We're having a bonfire in the back. We'll chill. They're like, just bring loads of glasses from yours. So I'm with my brother and I'm like, fuck yes, mon over to mine. There's so many things in this that that I can't tell whether it's like fucking local Irish lingo or just typos. So I'm just going to read them as if it's Irish lingo. So mon over to mine. Let's get the cups. Got them. We head back to the Randy's house and it's that house. Had a rager of a time with them none the wiser. Didn't even think about it till the morn and fucking kept thinking about it like it wouldn't go away. Weeks later, I was getting a haircut down the town and the man of the house from the big night walked in, sat down. Big, bald, bearded, scary-looking cunt, all tats. I looked at him, he looked at me. Gave a little nod like, oh, remember me? He didn't say a word. Couldn't stop sweating, man. I got up, got the fuck out of there. The fear of all them consequences and nothing happening freaked me the fuck out, man. Now I live fucking ages away, off the gear, never putting myself in a situation like that again. Either he knew and didn't want to do anything there, or they still don't know and I feel worse for it. Fuck drinks, bro. Fuck drugs. Love it, but nah. Turns me into a right fiend. All in moderation. Well, I can tell you this. If he knew, he would have fucked you up. And I can tell you this as well. You're like a good guy. You can't be doing bad shit. Because if that is weighing heavy on your conscience, you're not cut out to do bad shit. Because that fucking would not have even filled one fucking megabyte of conscience space in Boyle's head. That would have slid off me like I was a brand new fucking non-stick pan. So if that is weighing you down, you really need to get on the straight and narrow, mate, because you're not cut out to be a bad guy. Anyway, cheers to the story. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you the fuck later.